Yo, what is up, folks? MTG here, taking a look back, and again, at Aetherflux Reservoir combo, which I've not visited in quite a while. A very sweet combo deck, taking a look at it in Pioneer and its MTG Arena equivalent format Explorer here. For the purpose of this deck, they are basically the same. There are a load of really niche artifacts that just have with random text on them, and sometimes something will make it into the deck, and oh wait, actually you should probably be putting one of these in, but it's some slight optimization stuff, and realistically the deck's not a tier 1 deck. It's not super popular, but it is very, very sweet and very, very fun to play. And sometimes stressful, but hey, it's what it is. The deck is built around Aetherflux Reservoir. If you're not familiar, 4-mana artifact. When you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you've cast this turn, but then pay 50 life. Aetherflux Reservoir deals 50 damage to any target. Cast a bunch of spells, gain a bunch of life, pay a bunch of life, deal a bunch of damage to your opponent. Hopefully you only have to do that once. I guess if you play against angels, that could be tough if they get above 50, but hopefully you can clock them in time. And if not, good luck, I guess. So the Aetherflux Reservoir, we're going to cast a bunch of spells in one turn. To do that, we have a bunch of 0-mana artifacts. At the top of the list, we've got Mox Amber, which is here alongside Emery. Let's just recast artifacts from the graveyard. We have Ornithopter. This sometimes blocks, but also taps for Springleaf Drum, which can get you some fast starts in terms of mana. We have 2 copies of Tormod's Crypt with 2 copies of Briber's Purse here. These allow us to kind of interact with stuff our opponent's doing, but are also 0-mana artifacts when we're going off. And then Briber's Purse in particular lets you stop blockers a little bit. You can do stuff with the counters. It was actually a nice thing that they put onto Arena with cards stuck here, but doesn't really see play in loads of places. But it is hey, this is a 0-mana artifact that has some utility on it. And then the Springleaf Drums I mentioned, 4 copies of Moonsnare Prototype, blue artifact, tap an untapped artifact or creature you control with this to add a colorless. So again, alongside the Springleaf Drum Ornithopter package, this is accelerating you. This package is accelerating you, this is accelerating you, and then the Mox Ambers are kind of accelerating you. But both the Springleaf Drums and the Mox Ambers are a little dependent on other stuff if you've got going on. And then lastly, at the 1-mana slot, we have Witching Well, blue artifact, enter the battlefield scry 2. Helps fix your draws, and then 3 in a blue to sacrifice your draw 2 cards. So we've got these 0-mana artifacts, we've got Aetherflux Reservoir. The idea is obviously to play as many of these as possible in one turn. How are we kind of facilitating that to get the critical number of these into your hand to cast? What are we doing? And this deck is built around Paradoxical Outcome. 3 in a blue, instant, return any number of target non-land, non-token permanents you control to their hands. Draw a card for each card returned to your hand this way. So actually what we're trying to do is build up these permanents at play, bring them back to our hand, draw for each one we've returned, and then play them out again. And then we've got some enablers for that. Notably, I guess, so we have 2 copies of Aetherflux Reservoir here. This is because we're playing a package of Warrior of the Inventions. X blue blue blue, but with Improvise, you can tap artifacts to as it's like artifact convert. You can tap artifacts to help pay the mana cost. Search your library for an artifact card with mana value X or less, put it into the battlefield, and then shuffle. I guess the one notable thing where it's not like Convoke is that if you have a blue artifact, it does not reduce it by blue. It only lets you reduce for Cultless, which is worth bearing in mind sometimes, but hey. Means that we only need to run 2 copies of Reservoir, and then also means we've got some toolboxy stuff to help us kind of tier up things that we might need. You might be able to wear out the invention for Tormod's Crypt at a critical time, or get Inspiring Statuary, which we'll get to. So the core of the deck is built around, hey, we're going to build these up in play, so you get to play out the mana rocks and stuff and kind of build up a number of permanents. Maybe you might have to do some blocking, interacting with your opponent's stuff, or more likely they'll interact with your stuff and kind of stab a couple of things down. But then, once we get to end of turn, work for invention, put the Reservoir into play, untap, outcome, bounce all these things to our hand, draw a bunch of cards, play a bunch of things, ideally hit the number we need to pay 50. And then the other bit is that we've got 2 copies of Inspiring Statuary here. 3-mana artifact, non-artifact spells you cast have Improvise. And that is that ability on the Wear Again, where you can tap artifacts to have you cast the spells. It obviously doesn't reduce the artifact costs and doesn't reduce our Reservoir or itself. However, it does reduce the costs on both Paradoxical Outcome and Forging the Anchor, which is one of the newer additions, I think, since last time I covered the deck. Again, Outcome normally casts 4 mana, but when you get to pay blue for this and then tap 3 artifacts, and then you're bouncing those same artifacts to your hand, where you can then recast them after drawing those cards, and then hey, maybe you've drawn another Paradoxical Outcome, hey, you'll pay another blue, tap those artifacts again. You see where this is going, chain through a bunch of stuff. It doesn't take that many permanents in play to get to 10 spells, to get from I say 10 spells, the numbers tick up and up and up and up and up. Assuming that your lifestyle is above 1, you'll get there pretty quickly. There's a math you can do. It exists. Yeah, so you'll like have 5 things in play. Outcome, return 5 things. That's your first spell. Get to play hopefully some other number of things. Maybe you then have to do some other stuff with outcome or forging the anchor, but that all gets way easier with statuary in play. So that's kind of built around this, which is another thing you can borrow invention to put into play if you don't draw it naturally. With that being said, we also have Emery, which I mentioned earlier. It enables Mox Amber, but also it milling you for artifacts lets you kind of like helps you build up a number of artifacts in play. You'll have some resources in your hand, but being able to mill for and basically add those to the artifacts that you can cast, maybe that helps you find an inspiring statuary or a reservoir, or it'll let you help you build up more 0 mana artifacts to play because you're casting them for free. So it's not slowing you deploying any of the stuff in your hand, as well as turning on Mox Amber. And then lastly, as I mentioned, Forging the Anchor as a little bit of a mini Paradoxical Outcome, but a bit of a setup card. You can just cast it on turn 3, but it does get better with Inspiring Statuary, and Statuary lets you kind of cast it when you're going off for blue and tapping a couple of artifacts. 2 in a blue, look at the top 5 cards of your library, reveal any number of artifact cards from among them and put them into your hand, press go on the bottom. Also helps you find the Statuary, also helps you find the Reservoir, all that stuff. Ideally, you're like picking up a bunch of stuff. We don't have like Seat of the Synod in this format. You could put. I've not played it yet, but you could try playing this deck in one of the older formats on Arena, like Timeless or Historic, and get to play like Seat of the Synod. Is Seat of the Synod pre-banned in Historic? I can't remember now. I've not played it in a while. But yeah, we're not playing any actual artifacts lands here to like really have this like be like an actual draw 5 every time. That being said, we do have like 2 utility lands on our deck. We have 1 Ottawara and then 1 copy of Inventor's Fair. Inventor's Fair, legendary land. Beginning of your upkeep, you control 3 or more artifacts gain a life, and then 4 tap, sacrifice it, search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put into your hand. If you've got 3 or more artifacts, that kind of like Metalcraft requirement. It is expensive to do this, but if you get there and have the opportunity to, then you can go to it for a Reservoir statuary, so like Mox Amber you need to complete the mana again, or whatever. But yeah. Very niche, very sweet combo deck. It is a little tricky to play, and I've not played in a little while, so do bear with me. But yeah, gonna hop into some best of 1 ranked matches just to ease the stress levels. And I thought, yeah, let's just show you this sweet deck, play some best of 1, see in a couple of different matchups. And yeah, if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Please do like, share the video around if you know anybody who'd like it. All the algorithm stuff helps me out an absolute ton. Let's get into some games. Not a terrible hand. We can. Oh, actually. No, I thought for a minute. I thought this was the mana making artifact. We use Mox Amber to do this on turn 2. We still have the Where. I still keep this. We still have to scry off the Witching Well. Seems okay. Botanical Saint. Apparently a mystery. All well ahead. Okay, we found an Emery and a land. I'll bottom the land for now, but I wouldn't mind drawing it on. We're going to mill off of Emery anyway. I'll hold the Amber for now, just in case something strange happens. Wayfinder. Okay, so this is likely to be some kind of Neoform pile. Oh no, okay, blue-green Oculus. With Neoform. It is a Neoform pile. I was right. It's just, yeah. Putting 2 and 2 together. Okay, we don't have a load of options. We'll run out of the Emery. But we're kind of a little... Okay, we've got a 0 mana artifact to play with the Tormod script. That might be handy if they don't have Neoform right now. We don't have loads of ways to interact with excuse me. With them if they just go Neoform now with interaction. Okay, they don't have one, so here's an archaeologist. The thing is, we get Emery can tag an artifact back. That then lets us we get blue of 1/2. Depends what we draw. Ooh, can they bounce the Emery? We can't just bushwhack it, unfortunately. Let's let them fight, but Oh, they have a Beseiji. Oh, this is all bad for us. Huh. Awkward. We'll see. If they don't have a super fast clock, we can still maybe play through some of this. But if they get out the Emery's turning off the Mox Amber is not great. Beseiju isn't a massive problem, so you can just get the Mox Amber back. Though which well is just going to be tapping for mana effectively. We don't have the mana to like kind of get them with some kind of outcome like response play to pick up some stuff and draw some cards. We'd rather. Okay, so they're gonna let us do something. I'll start with a land then, because that lets us outcome here. I'll use Emery. I'll try and cast the Inspiring Statuary. So one of these things where like they can respond to this with the Beseiji. That's like somewhat mana neutral for us. We're gonna have to play through the Beseiji at some point anyway. But then with the Statuary in play, we can anchor. So here it's like, okay, do you wanna I'm gonna fading hope the Emery. Oh. Wait, what? Oh, I hate Arena sometimes. Because we wouldn't have been able to do anything. Yeah. Blue. Did I pass through? I was trying to work out if we could forge anchor here. But I feel like it didn't give us priority to. We should have been able to when they bounce Emery response, we then don't have any mana. Okay, yeah. We should have been able to float blue. That feels weird. This is one of these situations where I'm sure I'm missing something. Like if we float a blue here, Emery goes back to our hat. Did it auto pass priority? Maybe I pass priority after casting Statuary. Would be weird, but hey. Because with Statuary in play, we can then use Mox Amber for blue, and then tap these two artifacts to forge the anchor, using the Statuary ability for improvise. But I think because we tapped for the Inspiring Statuary, at that point it didn't give us priority back. I don't know. There wasn't anything we could in theory cast all the Statuary on the stack. It auto passed us on the Fading Hope, and then passed through the rest. So with that being said, they've got 2 mana open, they have the so we also drew the Reservoir. They're not doing a ton, but we need to not expose the Reservoir right now. I'm gonna lead with this. I can forge the anchor like this. The mechanics are not here. I've not played in. Actually, I don't think I've played an Inspiring Statuary deck on. I may have played it as like a one of in these lists before. Then yeah. But we'll do this. Well here. It almost wants to find a land, honestly. But we need to work out how we're using these bushwhacks and sages. So ideally they want to do something where they get to Yeah, getting the stat tree is definitely the right thing to do. Second outcome or land. Think on the land. They have 1, 2, 6, 7. The next step is just working out the zero mana artifacts. We have Mox Amber, which is actually 0, Witching Well, and the prototype, which is kind of mana neutral, but it does take us down a blue mana, which is important and valuable. We also need to work out getting the Reservoir into play. Okay, so then Neoform here. I think we can take a turn, is what I'm thinking. So my thinking is that we take a turn deploying the Reservoir. Or whirring for Reservoir. One, two, maybe 3 blue, right? My dumb. Yeah, this is more efficient. Sure. I'm surprised actually. With the mana we've got playing here. So then the plan is to whir for 4 end of our opponent's turn. We've got 3 mystery cards now. But now we have this Sparring Statue in play, we can play this and kind of go off. Yes. We've seen 1 Stubborn Denial, Fading Hope, and Ottawara gone. Is they going to try and set up more here, or will they show whether they have interaction or not? They also maybe like flicker some of these things. They can fight down the Amory, so we can't. The Mox Amber might not be a useful, source of mana. Depends how things go. So yeah, I don't think we can outcome now. I think the Amory's kind of served its purpose. This is fine. What else we got? Maybe thinking about whether they want to play. Whether they want to play some of the. They're going to like thin down here, I guess. Maybe this will allow them to do some kind of Augur or Archaeologist to try and find another summon that I'll play. Not sure. Alright, let's do the worth 4 thing. See if this resolves. They've kind of got to know what's up. Our kind of hope here is that they don't have 2 summon denials. 2 summon denials would be pretty brutal. Yeah. Okay. We'll put Reservoir into play. They have another Beseiju. Okay, so we're going to start with the Reservoir in play. Alright. We gotta optimize some stuff. Let's cast this. I could have cast second Reservoir here, but I'm kind of concealing it. Blue. So we're gonna go 1, 2. Oh yeah, we should cancel. Make colorless with this. Okay, this is gonna be a bit of a nightmare. Alright. And then we get there. Okay, that was a bit slow. The fact that this is the point where they're all growing here is interesting. Oh, we get there. Right, okay. Alright, we'll get faster at that. Alright, second match. Yeah, I mean, kind of need to apologize to the front of that one. That was slow from our part. I'm still getting bad scripts to the coming back. We still have the turn 2 Emery, so I think we keep this, but like the having the multiple Emerys might be really good, maybe. But yeah, and we took a little long working out exactly our combo line. Yeah. Oh. Could be angels, but could be Hatebears. Could be a disaster. There's no way to do this the other way around. If we play the, I'm not gonna play the Amber. I'll wait on it. But if we did it the other way, if we, it is Hatebears. They played it. So if it being Hatebears, I'd expect them to play a 3-drop because the deck's mostly 3-drops. But yeah, the Valley is particularly good against the exact line that we took. It is itself fine. So I'm thinking about like whether we need to. So if we hit nothing here, okay, we hit not nothing, but none of our payoff cards. This is going to be a rough one to win through Thalia as well. But we might have to do something about it, a little, perhaps. I'm basically thinking, do I want to run a second Amory out here? I think if they have double, yeah, I'm gonna run a second one out here. Trying to find some more things that are great. Okay. Oh, we milled a well. That's not necessarily the greatest. But we also milled land first. But that would have also helped us stuff earlier. And they have one apparition, which is why I didn't want to like run the third one of these out. But it is definitely a punish for playing the second one. Okay. Got drum into so 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, yeah, they're the third. That's a little unfortunate. Oh, okay, that's good because there's some mocks. Let's go. That now does let us outcome. Not in like a cool way. Voice, sure. Okay, so we have. Oh, what am I talking about? It does look like it's Thali in play. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can just passing up on the Emery. But the Mox Amber is mana neutral. This is a bit of a nightmare. All right. We went through. We got to draw some new cards. Bodyguard takes Emery, which is bad for us. Yeah, this is pretty on. It's not like the Thali. There's a bunch of other disruptor cards that aren't Thali that are also really bad for us to play against. I don't know blocks here. Yeah, we can't win through this right now anyway. All right. No problem. Yeah, Thali is tough. The green white like Hatebear deck has a bunch of Hatebears that are very good against us. Here, we're on the place. I think I keep this, but it's a bit slow. I'm gonna go Island Go for a couple of turns probably here. Okay, this means we're playing against Green Devotion, which means we need to not be slow. If you remember what I was just saying about how we need to. If they naturally have the Nykthos, okay, the Springleaf Drum here helps a little bit. I'll go ahead and cast both of these, and I think no, I'll hold the Mox Amber for now. Oh, maybe I was wrong. These are green white Verges, right? Yeah, sure, okay. I was like, for a minute, this made me think that we were playing against Animatic, but it's not. Priority here should be casting Anchor. Emery's probably a little better. Is mana neutral? Yeah, because the Mox Amber. Okay. All right, we got a couple of things. Okay, we have sure, I'll see. No thanks. Okay. Yeah, I thought this could be like Enigmatic Incarnation, just playing ley lines, but no. With the elf as well, like this is a variation on mono green. Oh well, green white. So green and like Alish Norn. Assumedly. Oh sure. I mean, it could be neither of the things I suggested, but Elvish Mystic, Leyline, you're normally looking at like, hey, here's an Nykthos on turn 2, I'm going to make 5 mana. And all of a sudden, got like a turn 2 Cavalier or like Fiora into Storm the Festival. Okay, second ley line, they have a ton of devotion. Brilliant. Alright, we have second Paradoxical Outcome. So let's see what we... Firstly, want to recast this Tormod script. Go ahead and do that. We can get blue here. Blue. Is there a way to do this? Blue for statuary. Yeah, okay. We can do this because then we can go outcome, happy, targeting all the 0 mana things and the 1 mana thing because we should draw land. We can even kind of gamble a little bit, return Emery here. I think we should do that. I'm at 6, and then we'll auto tap these. Okay. Island, Ornithopter, Springleaf Drum, Emery. Then we just work out how much stuff I have to discard. We've not drawn into either Forging the Anchor or... Okay, sure. We'll do some stuff then. I think I'm just going to do this now. Try and hit the Inspiring Statuary. Sorry, not Inspiring Statuary. The, Alright. I'm going to cast... Go... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. End turn, discard, anchor, and the backup statuary. Unless they have a way to remove this. Oh, we have a Emery. We'll do this. And then we should have lethal. Troll. Yeah, they don't have the ley line to make the... Sorry, they don't have the Neoform to make these like ley lines like super powerful. Alright. Blue. Let's cast this. Make blue here. Let's cast the 0 mana artifacts first. I'm going to go ahead and Mox Amber here. Keep this. Off-white blue. I'm going to use this. Recast the River's Purse from our graveyard. I'll use this. Blue here. I'll play the Wishing Well. Then we can outcome 1, 2, 3. Let's not draw a deck. We'll do 1, 2, 3 here. This isn't the most efficient, but we'll get there. We can activate the reservoir now anyway. Okay, nice. Not too bad. Mono green in theory should be a good matchup, but some of these new versions of the deck, which are more combo oriented, if they have like the ley line, Nycthos, elf draws, you can just like get combo. Effectively one turn comboed on like turn 3 or 4. But it should be a decent deck like matchup because they're not super interactable. They have Besagi, and that's about it. You can kind of fishbowl a little bit. So this hand looks very, very solid for us. We've got the statuary, we've got Emery to try and dig for stuff, and we have like the Tormod's Crypt. Bring these drum, start to kind of get this down early. Not on turn 1. But we are on the draw. Let's see. Planes go. Alright. I'll just play out the Springleaf Drum. I'll leave everything else for now. Does mean the Emery is mana neutral next turn. But if we draw like a Mox Amber, then it means we actually can like Forge the Anchor. Let's see what they got. Yeah, I love this deck. I've not played in a little while. The last time I think I posted a video, it was a blue-black version that used Beseech the Mirror, which is obviously you've got a bunch of artifacts staying in play, but you can beseech for either the Aetherflux Reservoir or for Paradoxical Outcome. It's not like incredible. It's not broken, but it's a cool interaction. But I think this version is probably better. Yeah, that's one's a video to check out if you like the look of the deck and are like interested in seeing more of it. It is, of course. Oh yeah. Slow this down a little bit. Because we've drawn statue, but not. That's Emery. This looks to be like in mono white humans. If we can naturally find an inspiring, like we can still find a win. We just kind of need to make sure that we're using all our mana as efficiently as possible because we are severely taxed on it. We like lose a mana off of the Ornithopter here effectively, but not really. That's a problem, but we have an Ottawara at least. Okay, so we're trying to set up a situation where we can go off into the Arc, where we can end step, bounce the Archon, and then Ottawara. Unfortunately, can't bot the Thalia. Alright, so no fast clock. This is like mono white, like death and taxes, rather than something more hateful. 1, 2, 3. I have to play the Ottawara here. Is there any way in which we can win through the Ottawara? Yeah, there are some other routes. I think we do need to cast the which is the anchor. So we have the mana the blue mana rock Moonsnare prototype can like spin a permanent for 5 mana. I think that's where we're gonna be. I think that's where we're headed. I'll be honest with you. Okay, I'm gonna do the thing here. We'll go blue. This is non-basic. Oh, what are we even doing here? What are we doing? Alright. This is a miserable match, but I should feel bad. I'm gonna put like 3 counters on this or something. I'll put like 2 counters on this or something. What are we doing? Alright. Just wasting all of ours and all of your time and all of our opponent's time and all of my time. Okay. We have the second Emery. This is fine. This is totally fine. They get to cast 1 spell a turn. We get to cast 1 spell a turn. All even and fair and stuff. And now we could do this. Okay, now we could do this because this does let us get around it a little bit. 14. Better than playing Emery? Yeah, it is. Okay. The problem is that we still need to. Yeah. We're not going to find a way in time to bounce the Archon. We need a little bit more mana. We'll have access to 4 here. Maybe if we can. We're just not going to get enough turns. I was gonna say if we can Emery through like a box amber or something to like artificially inflate, like artificially get more mana. This is a 2-1. Can maybe stop some stuff attacking. Who's to really say? Okay, land. I'm gonna lead with the Emery. Wait. Yeah. Because we should be able to cheat our way or outcome. That's not anything useful. Limited to one spell a turn. This says one spell a turn. This is like I can't read. I read the thing, and then I read the thing again, and then I was like, cast Emery. Not that we'd be able to cast anything off of Forge the Anchor. Yeah, it's kind of joke. It's a bit too late. We need to find. Oh, they actually are on green white. I'm not tilted. You're tilted. No. What do you mean I look tilted? No. Every time I go to play some like sweet, like off the beat interact combo deck, it seems like I play against Hatebears. But that's fair and like somewhat deserved. I'm trying to like waste someone's time and then Aetherflux Reservoir them, and then the idea is not to waste their time. I'm just I've not played the deck in a while. There's some weird mechanical aspects, and yeah, used to think of it. That's all. With that being said, the deck did perform like fairly well. We won on non-Hatebears matchups, and I'm pretty happy about that. Mono green should be a decent matchup. There are a few decks of the format like that where they have like a really powerful thing they're going to do that goes over the top of you, but they are slow and don't interact. And we have a fairly consistent turn 4 fishbowl, being able to like whir for a Aetherflux Reservoir on turn 3 or cast it on turn 4 with some resources in play and kind of go off. It's not going to happen all the time, but versus the non-interactive decks, that is a real likelihood. With that being said, we are playing in best of 1. In best of 3, I do think you would, at least by the more interactive decks in the format, get pretty dismantled. And then you can, or you will, I think, often lose to aggro. There's not like loads you can do about those matchups. Versus aggro, when you're on the play, you have a turn 4 fishbowl. You have some game against them. It's not terrible. But hey, that being said, the individual parts of the deck I think I'm pretty happy with. I'm playing 18 lands here. You could try and cut lower than this. It is very, very difficult. Like, Mox Amper is not a land. Ornithopter Springleaf Drum is not a land. Between these things, we about get there where this is playable alongside the moves of their prototypes. But I'm very happy with the 2/2 of Inspiring Statuary and Aetherflux Reservoir. Very happy with the 4 Whir, 4 Paradoxical Outcome. Forge the Anchor, it only got us a couple of cards. It has that's like the kind of flaw, though. We didn't really see any of the ceilings. We're getting like 3 or 4. But also you're doing that ideally with Statuary in play, so you're doing it for like 1 mana, tapping a couple of artifacts. That's more than enough. You're just looking to like get some resources in the mid game and get you to that point where you have the critical mass to go off. This should hopefully get you there most of the time. Emery is obviously a point of like fragility for the deck where it can get removed. It's vulnerable to removal spells. But the synergy with Mox Amber, being able to kind of like look into your graveyard to find some extra artifacts to get into play is really handy. And if you like mill over Inspiring Statue or Aetherflux Reservoir and get those back with the Emery, then you're in business. I think the one element of the deck where I'm like, okay, there could be some differences here is that the 1 mana and 0 mana artifacts. Briber's Purse, like, it looks like a bit of a meme, is particularly bad when we're casting it into Thalia and having to pay an extra mana to cast it for the X, and then also use another mana to then remove a gem count and stop them blocking. But like, there are times where that will buy you like a couple of turns, just being able to stop one of their attackers. I think that's actually really good. Similarly, like Tormod's Crypt in the right matchup will like buy you tons of time. And so you can even go higher on numbers on these. The Wishing Wells, I think, do help smooth the draws out. Like, ideally, I would like to play 4 copies of all of these, but there's not infinite space. Just trim 2 lands. Don't do that. So I've gone 2/2 here, but the numbers here could change around. Similarly, like, again, so the Witching Wells help smooth your draws out. You can't rely on it super heavily. Like, you're smoothing out with the Scry 2. You ideally aren't sacrificing it to draw cards. If you're doing that, either you're like have a bazillion resources but just need to find the reservoir, or like you've lost the game. But hey, but yeah, like the prototype Springleaf Drum, Mox Amber Emery like mana engine is like real and decent, but a little vulnerable. And then yeah, I do think the deck is like solid overall, but like not like a tier 1, nowhere close to like a tier 1 deck. It's just a little too fragile. You're very much a glass cannon. As we saw in the Hatebears matchups, you can easily kind of get disrupted and torn apart a bit. But hey, though I think like the first match we played versus Oculus, we kind of got to play through like a decent amount of interaction with the Beseiji, being able to them fighting our Emery down. Like, that was like, I think like a really good win against maybe the best deck in the format right now, or one of the top like 3. So hey, that's cool. Hope you enjoyed the video anyway. If you did, please do like, subscribe, share it around to anyone you know who might enjoy it. All that album stuff helps me out, helps the channel out, helps support the channel, and yeah. Thanks for watching. Peace out.